So NCSoft confirmed that the Unreal Engine 4 update for Blade and Soul that we have been waiting for what seems like an eternity is coming in the third quarter of 2021. You know what months the third quarter consists of, right? Yeah. So we should be getting this realistically any day now. And in light of this, they actually updated their entire website with a plethora of information, with a surplus of videos, and we're gonna go through all of them. Today we are taking a very deep dive, a very comprehensive look at Blade & Soul's Unreal Engine 4 update. I hope you guys are ready. Now, for those of you that want to stay up to date with Blade & Soul, with the Unreal Engine 4 update, or just MMO news in general, scroll down, hit that subscribe button, and become part of our community. So before we take a deep dive, I do want to note that Blade & Soul has actually announced their 14th class. We're going to take a look at the trailer for that because, I mean, heck, it was just released. Or just announced, rather. Well, now you have no weapon. Yeah, you're screwed, buddy. You got your sword, literally just stab it. You know what, I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty cool. He's like, whoa, those are some tight pants. Oh, come on, I'm not the only one that thought that, right? Wait, did she give him back his sword? No, she's dual wielding swords, right? That's a new class. That looked so cool. I am being completely honest here. Okay, now let's go ahead and tackle this deep dive. Let's start off by clicking the Unreal Engine 4 link. Blade & Soul currently runs on a single core engine. This has made it difficult to implement light and sophisticated UI, realistic and detailed visuals, and clean optimization. It is also limited development for our team. We wanted to deliver wider worlds, variety in movement, and detailed expressions, but we were restricted by the capabilities of the engine. We have prided ourselves as pioneers in the industry, but the more burden we put on the engine, the worse the experience became. That is very evident. The performance in Blade & Soul has always been really terrible. While players endured long loading screens, game immersion suffered. Blade & Soul could no longer handle brilliant visuals or complex cinematics. We were losing what defined our brand. And that is very true, because when Blade & Soul came out, everyone thought it was like the best looking game ever. We understood the problems, but changing the game engine would mean resetting the development environment. We believed it would be best for our fans and our future, but this would mean starting from scratch to realign our development pipelines. It would mean a lot of hard work, so that is what we did. And they actually have a video here. This is the Unreal Engine 4 overview video. I mean, I like how it looks, I really do. They kind of kept the aesthetic feel of Blade & Soul, but it just looks so much more crisp and smooth and... I mean, I've always thought Blade & Soul looked really good, but I feel like this is definitely modernizing it, making it much more sleek. That looks impressive. Part of our plan is to introduce asynchronous loading to display data within the connected character's view first. We will preload locations that we estimate the character will arrive at before the character's actual arrival. Here's a look at the loading time, apparently. So it was much faster. I don't know, about 30%. But do note that that the loading times displayed here are not indicative of what you're necessarily going to experience yourself, because this is solely dependent on the computer that is being used, and those locations look so substantially different. Just a little thought there. We will focus on how the game runs so that you can focus on having fun. Previously, our engine needed to express everything the player saw, even faraway objects. That meant wasting resources on visualizing unnecessary data during gameplay. Now we're going to break this limitation and express data by prioritizing the closest objects. This will lead to a more detailed and stable performance with less lagging. And here they're showing off the boss fight using the Unreal Engine 4 upgrade. I mean, I don't really know what to say about that. Then let's go along and click Act 11 Part 2. The long-awaited sequel to Act 11 is on its way. In Act 11 Part 2, players can expect even more of the mystery and beauty of the Divine Realm to be explored, and long-lost ties will be found anew. Untold stories will unravel as players move ever closer to their final battle and journey to the Lake of Reflection. We know that the story of Blade and Soul is paramount to the immersion and enjoyment of the world, so we wanted to provide a sneak peek at some of what will be coming later this year. And they have some screenshots. I don't think these aren't in-game screenshots, are they? Yeah, these are like artwork of the game. And then we have art. Blade and Soul is defined by its world and the characters that the player creates within it. Our priority is to maintain our unique character visuals and expressions with the new engine. We plan to improve our shaders and processes in full scale to express character textures and colors more vividly. We are dedicated to preserving and improving everything from hairstyles, costumes, character designs, colors, and textures. We take great pride in the design and artwork of Blade and Soul, and the new engine will allow us to do even more than before, and we are going to have even more outfits for people to go ahead and spend their money on. Which is perfectly fine. I mean, I love the outfits in Blade and Soul for the most part. Blade and Soul's visuals are a unique part of the experience, and we will always work to make them something our audience loves. Then they went ahead here and linked to the Blade and Soul before and after Frontier versus Unreal Engine 4 alterations. I mean, I'm not gonna lie here. Honestly, I think both are very, very aesthetically appealing. Okay, well then you go and show me something like this as soon as I say that. And then instantly I'm like, what? Well, evidently the new version is substantially better. But I can tell that they put a lot of time and effort into this, so kudos to you guys, seriously. And I hate that place. That's where you start off in every game. At PTSD. Every time I see any reference of it. The outfits are looking mighty crisp. Then we got class changes. Oh no, this is gonna be exciting. A core part of Blade & Soul has been the addition of new content and upgrade elements. We have been proud to deliver consistent new classes and specializations that resonate with our players. And as you guys saw, I just showcased the latest dual wielding sword class at the beginning of this video. So yeah, they regularly release classes just like Black Desert does. However, the large variety of classes can become burdensome for a player trying to choose the perfect class to invest their time in. This is especially true for our veteran players that have put untold hours into a character they love, only to have an exciting new class re-released that they would like to play. Because of this, we are working on a new system that allows players the freedom to change classes as well as exchange class exclusive items to a new class. Our goal is to create a system that improves the options available. Our goal is to create a system that improves the options available to our new and veteran players alike. We are also aware of the concerns regarding a system like this. First and foremost, concerns about balance and preference for certain classes causing imbalances. We are working diligently to create unity between all classes. I'm gonna be honest, that will never ever happen. There is not an MMO anywhere that has balanced classes, so that this new feature is not abused and does not negatively impact player experience. So they're kind of going not necessarily the route that Final Fantasy XIV goes, where you can play any class on one single character, but rather you're probably going to be able to, I don't know, pay to alter your class whenever you want to. And you know what, I feel like that is probably going to be very useful, because one of the things I hate in Blade & Soul is having to go through all of the story all over again to get back up to the point I was at. Content. We are refocusing on player-centered combat in dungeons so that individual players and plays feel important again. We want individual players to be able to celebrate amazing victories or huge plays that change the outcome of a battle. Because of that, we are reimagining and revisiting dungeon design, especially on smaller scales. Our first newly designed dungeon is in the works, and you can expect that in Q3 2021. I'm interested to see where that ends up going. Playing through a dungeon should not feel like a repetitive task. Although we have added many dungeons to Blade & Soul, we're not satisfied with the variety that they provided. New dungeons were ultimately exciting, but became tedious over time. This is why we are creating a new way to experience dungeons. Our goal is for the same dungeon to provide ever-changing experiences and excitement. So what this means essentially is that the dungeons are going to be like semi-procedurally generated. Goals and strategic encounters presented at each stage will provide players with steady challenges and a true sense of accomplishment. We have many more details to come about this exciting new system as we are closer to its reveal. The interface. I honestly never really had an issue with the UI. Over time, we have had a lot of new ideas for the menus, design, and user experience of Blade & Soul. However, the more ideas we had, the more complex the experience became for users, and displaying everything we wanted became impossible. This is why we are upgrading our interface with a focus on convenience and clarity. The first step is to create an intuitive interface. Similar information will be grouped together, and menus will be organized in hierarchies of related information so that players do not have to memorize the location of various functions or menus. We're still in the early stages of this update, but we're hard at work and wanted to share our current progress. So that is what the game looks like. No, I'm guessing that is the character creator for it. That looks so much better. Wow, I am genuinely impressed by what I see there. Wow, I didn't think I needed it, but apparently I needed it. Then we got the battle systems, which actually links to a whole other part of the website. Unreal Engine 4 responsive dungeon combat system. As part of our Unreal Engine 4 upgrade, we're planning to implement a more responsive dungeon combat system to make battles feel more immersive. For many dungeons, the gameplay was straightforward, learn the mechanics, DPS a boss, unique plays or heroic efforts weren't appreciated or encouraged. In the new responsive dungeon combat system, the aim is to provide positive responses to your skill combos. We want each and every move during a fight to feel meaningful and provide acknowledgement for combos that are done well. The end goal with this system is to get the player more invested and immersed immersed into executing skilled combos. Contributions to other synergies such as joint attacks and party protection skills will now be factored in as opposed to direct DPS numbers. For the various fighting combos made, the game will provide a positive response to encourage you to keep going and let you know what's working. Want to go back to allowing you to hone your own play style and skills. So they're also adding in new effects around you. On a successful combat combo, you receive an immediate response to a game animation. Yeah, there we go, new animations. A successful combo is essentially reacting accordingly to an attack, whether dodging, parrying, countering, or resisting. We want to give you an indicator when something was done well, and therefore subsequently encourage that behavior. MVP mentions can also be collected in each dungeon, and there will be a record of every moment you've done well. With the new dungeon difficulty, that just feels really weird. They're gonna add an ability for you to capture every moment that you did well in a dungeon. I mean, I feel like that's a waste of time and a wrong focus. Then we got ranking. The original ranking system forced players to focus on timetables for rewards and ranking and made it difficult to focus on getting to the top of the leaderboards. Even though we're able to elevate our competitive content and balance, motivation and a sense of achievement were difficult to create outside of the amount of rewards a player received. Moving forward, we want ranking to be reflected in real time rather than at set intervals. Upon reaching top ranks, character appearances will be updated to the system UI in real time. This means that the prestige to being top ranked will be immediately obvious. We are also working on adding additional content to rankings by preparing long-term changes to the ranking UI and honorary rewards. Stay tuned to all the evolutions on the way. I really never participated in PvP, so it's not really that big of an issue to me. Mythic Dungeons. Previous dungeons were designed for players to fit specific roles and to master difficulties through repetition. That's pretty much how every dungeon, every raid is in every MMO. This was problematic because it limited the types of challenges in dungeons and made them feel overly repetitive. Our new dungeon system seeks to fix this. But I mean, guys, you don't need to fix what ain't broke. The system is designed to provide several stages of difficulty rather than one type of mechanic and strategy. Each difficulty level will change mechanics, attack patterns, and even strategies players will need to utilize. However, even the mechanics are not fixed, and different difficulty levels may update and change so that parties will need to adapt to the newest update. Our goal is to create more enjoyable, more varied ways to engage with dungeons. We're also looking to provide better and more exciting rewards for these new challenges. These rewards will be seasonal, and players will be rewarded for completing the higher, more difficult stages as quickly as possible. We're continuing to focus not only on fun and enjoyable content, but challenging progression. I don't know how they're really going to do that. I don't really think it's necessary. I think players really enjoy learning fights. So, and here we have an alteration to the combat UI. Changes are coming to Blade & Soul's UI, so you can focus on the fight at hand. The existing UI can overwhelm players with data. That is very true. Previous UI made it difficult to see the most important information. That is also very true. Different battles also focus on different data and strategies. We have reduced visual clutter and simplified categories. Our goal is to present the most essential data in the easiest format. Player condition is easily readable at a glance with the new UI, which is honestly good to hear and was definitely necessary. The UI will reflect a simpler, cleaner design. I like how these trailers are actually done. How they're presented. That is a unique stance for her to take. Okay, well that was definitely interesting. Equipment. Oh no, the upgrade system, oh god. The existing method for raising equipment levels involves slowly acquiring growth materials from continuous play. While this worked well, no, it did not. This did not work well. This was an atrocious system that nobody liked. The system had flaws for encouraging consistent play. Moving forward, mythical rank items will be obtainable without having to target mythical rank dungeons to raise item levels. Mythical rank items will retain the same requirements to grow XP, but earning up small rewards to break through certain stages will no longer be needed. Upon drop, the item will be an already completed form item like the current mythical rank item. These items will have random stat bonuses though, so it will take some time to acquire the best version. We know there will be some concerns that this change may reduce the value of highly valued items currently in your possession. To address this, the new mythical rank item method will be be selectively applied to 6 types of accessory items. At first, weapon items and heart, pet, soul, and talisman items will not be affected. We will continue to put in our best efforts to preserve the value of current items while providing even more exciting rewards. The new insignia system will help players define their style and role more concretely. Insignia is a new attribute that exists in many types such as attack type, defense type, evasion type, utility type, etc. Attack type was mainly preferred in the past, but we look forward to seeing more meaningful approaches to combat using this new system. Players can expect to obtain this in our second mythical dungeon. This is currently under development, subject to change. Finally, currently, players can purchase growth materials directly to enhance their character's progress. However, this does not encourage players to engage with content. In light of this, we plan to introduce a new pass with future updates. This will act as a subscription type model that allows players to gain benefits as they play. Players will still be able to purchase direct items if they wish, but this should offer a more immersive option. Starting with the Unreal Engine 4 changes, we promise to continue to explore ways of creating fun and engaging options. And by fun and engaging options, they mean additional ways with which to acquire your hard-earned money. Mythical Dungeon. The second mythical rank dungeon adds even more. The second mythical dungeon focuses on enhancing new storytelling and adding a core dungeon for the season. The new narrative will provide the cornerstone for a new phase. We'll be introducing new characters and new conflicts to the Blade Soul world. Previously, play conditions were formed in a weekly format based on the highest rewards being obtainable through weekly content. However, this made it less exciting to finish challenges and gain rewards. This dungeon will introduce challenging competitions. Players will be able to obtain all new seasonal rewards as well as mythical accessories. Mythical accessories will have special effects never seen before to make these rewards even more exciting. Accessories will have special effects never before seen to make these rewards even more enticing. In following updates, seasons will continue with 2 dungeons in one season, challenging players to test their limits in order to gain all the rewards. New class, which we actually just addressed. This is the dual blade class. 14th class is coming, and it is a master of dual wielding. They embody lightning speed, devastating attacks, and flashing combat. The thrill of this unique sword fighter is found in pushing their limits, perfecting their combat, and risking their life for the thrill of improving their skills and honing the edge of their blades. Pretty much every class in the game. They live by the mantra, the best defense is a good offense? Yeah, no, I actually totally agree with that, playing glass cannons myself. The specializations. You can barely even read that. The first specialization cuts deep into the line between life and death. As a player wavers on the crossroads of death, they can draw out extreme powers and attacks. This heightened sensory state will allow players to lash out with a flurry of blows that incapacitates enemies. The second specialization focuses on the beauty of life and death, the elegance that comes from the energy of a blade. Masters of this style can attack even their most distant enemies and instill them with fear. Their sword strokes are as smooth as flowing water. Their attacks are as devastating as tsunamis. The closer the sword is to perfection, the stronger the force of their blades. Honestly, that all sounds pretty cool. Events that are going to be going on. Among the new content coming are solo competitions. These one-person events will show off who has the highest skill and know how to earn great rewards. These events will challenge players' technical skills as well as their strategic planning in order to achieve success. We have big plans for these, so stay tuned for all the updates. And these are not one-person events, you know, purely because we don't really have much of a population. These are single person events because reasons. The breaker system. Updating combat to create an entirely new experience. Introducing the breaker system. Boss enemies will now accumulate a breaker gauge. When the gauge is full, bosses will become defenseless. So you can like knock them down, essentially. Okay, function like the joint attack system. Yeah. Breaker gauge triggers a more powerful effect. Strong enough to omit special phases. So that's gonna be critical to your success in dungeons and raids, and especially the more difficult ones. Allows for more proactive options, lots of damage, make combat more engaging. Combat in Blade and Soul was never the issue, ever. But hey, if you're looking for ways to improve it even further, who am I to judge? And I know that was a lot, seriously. I think this is the longest I've ever spent like reading through information on a website, but yeah, that is everything right now pertaining to the Unreal Engine 4 update for Blade and Soul. Now, other than the third quarter 2021, so within the next couple months, we really don't have a specific release date. NCSoft might ultimately end up delaying the game or the update for the game, who knows? Either way, let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think, and if you're excited to play the Unreal Engine 4 update, if you think this is going to bring you back to the game, or you're just gonna pass on it altogether.
Someday soon, I'm gonna make it.